There's a bizarre and insidious new phenomenon going on in the human brain, and it's called popcorn brain. For those of you that don't know what popcorn brain is, I recommend that you do a little bit of research. But for now, I will give you a brief explanation of what it is. Popcorn brain is an addiction to receiving fast-paced information, like popping fast-paced information from an electronic device like your smartphone, your tablet, your computer, whatever device it is you're using. Now, some of you might say, this doesn't sound like a bad thing. It doesn't sound very insidious. But it is. In fact, it is becoming some sort of a mental disorder. I would call it a short-term reversible mental disorder. That's what popcorn brain is. So basically, anytime you need a piece of information, you pull your phone out, you look it up, and just like that, you receive the information. You need to know how old Queen Elizabeth is. You need to know who won the last Super Bowl, who was the 1996 Super Bowl MVP. I think it was Brett Favre. Anyways, whatever information it is that you need, you're able to pull your phone out and very fast get the information. Just pop the information out like that. And every time you receive a piece of information, you get a dopamine hit. So your brain becomes addicted to constantly opening up your phone and popping out new pieces of information. Now, this might sound like it's a good thing because you have access to all the information that the world has to offer, right? Anything you need to know, you can pull your phone out and you can learn it right now. You can store that information in your brain. That part is a good thing. But the insidious part is the effect that it has on your brain. Once you become addicted to receiving fast-paced information from an electronic device, it makes your attention span get weaker, and it makes it very difficult for you to perform normal, slow-paced tasks that you go through in your normal day. For example, it's very difficult to read a book when you have popcorn brain. It's very difficult to put a puzzle together or work on your car or anything that takes an extended period of time to do, anything that takes patience. It almost destroys your patience. And I know personally, I was starting to develop popcorn brain, and at times I start to see it coming back when I'm using my phone too much, so I have to train myself to not use my phone. I have to keep my phone time down to less than 30 to 45 minutes a day. If it goes above that, I'll start to get popcorn brain again. Now, the reason why I'm bringing up popcorn brain, and I'm sure you read the title of this video and it had nothing to do with popcorn brain. What I want to talk about is dating apps. And how I believe this concept of popcorn brain is applicable to dating apps and to your dating life as well, and it is also just as insidious. I found myself, over the course of the last 5 years or so, on dating apps, on Tinder, on POF. Those are the only two I've ever used. I know there's newer apps that are out now, but I don't really mess with those because I'm pretty much done with them. But while I was on Tinder, that was probably the easiest app for me to use because I could just go on there and swipe a bunch of times. I think it gave you 50 swipes a day. I would find 50 women that I was attracted to, swipe on them, and shut it off, get back on in an hour and look at all the matches that I had, and look at all the messages that I had, and look at all the opportunities I had to either hook up or go out on dates or whatever it is I wanted to do. But I was developing, what some people call unlimited access to unlimited women. And I don't mean that in a braggadocious way at all. It's not what I'm trying to do. As a matter of fact, I think just about anybody can have unlimited access to unlimited women if they're using a dating app as frequently as I was. And again, people probably are thinking that's not necessarily a bad thing. Like, having options is a good thing, right? Everybody wants to have options. And that's true. But that's not the insidious part. The insidious part is I was becoming addicted to hooking up with new chicks on dating apps. And it was just wham bam, thank you ma'am. I would meet a new chick and then I would basically be done with her. Then I'd go on the app, find another one, and it was like popcorn kernels, just pop, 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 pop. Every time a new one pops, I just reach in the bag and grab a new piece of popcorn. So it's like popcorn brain, but popcorn dating. And I know for women, it's probably a million times worse because women have even more options than men do. Women always have unlimited options. And, the impact that it has on people is just absolutely not good. I think it's probably the reason why so many millennials are single in their mid-30s. I think dating apps have a massive role that they played in that. It would only make sense. People are replacing people rapidly. And I try to think back, before dating apps, which I'm getting back on track now that I've deleted all the dating apps, but I go back to the times before dating apps and the way I conducted myself when it came to meeting women. Typically what would happen is I would find a woman I was attracted to. Could be the cute cashier at a store that I go to, a girl from the gym, a girl from college, or even a coworker sometimes, or whatever it may be. And I would zone in on her, one at a time, zone in on her. And it would usually take several days. We would talk, we would get to know each other. It's not that she was holding out and not giving me any. It's just we were going through this process, this slow-paced process of getting to know each other. Of course, I could have probably sped it up and hit it on the first night, but that wasn't necessarily what I wanted. Doesn't make me a beta. A lot of dating coaches say that if you don't hit on the first night, you're a beta. Anyways, I was going through the pace, going through the process at a slow pace, and this allowed the relationship to unfold, the suspense to unfold, for us to get to know each other, for the emotions to build up, the connection to build up, the bond to build up, and, you could say the commitment and the desire to be with one another to build up. And next thing I know, I would be in a healthy relationship. That's the way that would work. That's the normal process, right? You talk to a woman, you get to know her, you spend several weeks getting to know her, several months getting to know her, and you may have sex the first week, you may have sex every day for the first month. You may wait a month to have sex. That's not the point. The point is you're slowly getting to know each other and you're going through this process and you're focusing on each other. You're not focusing on the app that provides you with dopamine hits from, hundreds of different people, at such a rapid pace. Now, when you do this, you train your brain to get the dopamine hit off of this one person. So when you're with this person, you get the dopamine hit. And this goes for males and females. You feel that connection. You feel good when you're around that person. And then when you're away from that person, that's like a withdrawal from a drug. You want to go back to that person. And that is what that's what love is, When you're in love with somebody, that's all it is. You have an addiction to that person from dopamine, serotonin, endorphins and hormones. So when you're on the dating app and you're associating pictures of good-looking women on the dating app with these dopamine hits, you become addicted to multiple. It's like you just want to keep swiping. You want to keep processing the women. You want to keep them coming, keep coming and going as fast as possible. And it's a bizarre phenomenon that I see amongst my peers, all the single ones, that they're all sort of experiencing. So my best advice to anybody out there that's using these dating apps is delete them immediately. And I know it's going to be hard to do because it's just like a drug addiction. You go on the app, you see all of these matches, you see all of these opportunities to either receive pleasure or receive validation from the opposite sex, whatever it is you're looking for, and it's hard to resist it. And then you just rapidly hook up without building any sort of a connection to the person that you're talking to. It's just all sexual or it's all excitement. None of it is, healthy commitment type stuff. Now again, if you want to be a player that is banging bad bitches on the regular, then sure, go for it. But just make sure that you do some research on Popcorn Brain and find out if maybe you don't have a mental illness. It's just good to know, because I believe sex addiction is a mental illness. A lot of people complain about not getting sex. To me, not getting sex is the equivalent to not smoking crack, to not being an alcoholic. And as somebody who is what you could call a recovering addict, it's much better on the side of, normal relationships, normal commitment, normal connections, living a normal life. So I recommend you delete the apps and you get back to normal life. Go talk to that cute cashier at Target. Go talk to that cute chick from the gym that you've been wanting to get to know. Whatever. Go meet somebody in real life. It'll be a lot more fulfilling than meeting them on the app. And that's a guarantee. Anyways, guys, that's about all I have today. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I will be back this weekend with the LFA show with a new show. LFA out.